We are talking about Sanjoy Nath'S Nafcaia model, that is need, awareness, that is N for need, either it is the urgent need or Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Until there is any need, people should not do something, but people do due to fear, or due to curiosity, or due to interest. Now, A is for awareness, F is for fear, fear from boss, fear from enemy, fear from um, other people, fear from natural calamity, fear from many kind of things can occur. Need, awareness, fear, curiosity, C for curiosity, that is the basic humanly quality, that is the very basic humanly quality, we know it. NAFC. Then comes the A, that is attentiveness, which carries effort. So all people don't want to take that load of attentiveness. Awareness is also a effortful game. Even the Google is there, people don't want to search every fact, people rely other people's when they listen it. So awareness is also effortful game, effortful task to get aware on something. Being informative is also a tough life. Need, awareness, fear, curiosity, basic humanly quality, it is a curiosity, attentiveness, the interest, I for interest. Interest is a very big subject, because when we talk about the interest rate, that means someone wants to buy future now and ready to pay more in total at some time delay. So interest is not a easy thing. Interest means you are actively interested, and so whenever you have some interest, you will put effort there, and you will sometimes you will try to borrow money, and sometime you will try to borrow something, and you are ready to pay more. The interest is a very important subject. And the action, even you have all these things, still due to procrastination or laziness, the action is not done. Actually, action is not done, but action, to do the action, we need several other kind of awareness, that is the implementation awareness. We need the attentiveness, that is the implementation attentiveness. We need some fear also. For sometimes we are procrastinating on anything and someone enforces us to do the things, so we can have some fear, we can feel some threats, and for those reasons we do some action. And sometimes to avoid some threats we do some action, sometimes due to threat we do some action, and sometimes this action comes first and when we don't feel the need, still we do some action, and these kind of things are there. This is the most fundamental minimal model that we are using here as the concept of Nafcaia or Nafcaia. And sometimes the need comes first, awareness comes later. Sometimes the awareness comes first, need comes later. So there are 7 options: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and factorial 7 is 5040. Factorial 7 is equal to 5040. So we have the 5040 kind of possibilities of these arrangements of Nafcaia, and this is the first thing first. Now we will talk about the synchronicity analysis, diachronicity analysis as per Ferdinand de Saussure. And for last 150 years, mankind has grown itself towards a new kind of structuralist view, and the linguistic structuralist views of collective convention and collective consciousness have given the mankind a new kind of growth, and computer science came up due to the powerful understanding about non-ambiguous rule sets. First of all, we should understand that all these rule sets give the mankind a platform to think about automated decision systems, and the computer science is possible now. But before the computer science was possible, electronic developments was not sufficient thing to develop computers. Today we are living in the world of large language model. Today we are living in the artificial intelligence world, which was never possible until the structuralist views could get matured. And the linguistic revolution happened after 1830, when mathematics was also getting matured, arithmetic conventions were also getting matured, and while doing so, after Boolean algebra came, the Aristotelian thought was more refined, and after that refinement is done, Gottlob Frege got the idea about the subjects and predicates. Then the new revolution started from Ferdinand de Saussure, the synchronicity analysis and diachronicity analysis with the lingua and parole. Here we should understand the predicativity, the concept of definability from Bertrand Russell, and Saussure's idea on the synchronicity, diachronicity, lingua and parole. We will understand the nature of the concepts and the nature of the words. First concept is the diachronicity analysis of Ferdinand de Saussure talks about the need for the concepts, the need for the action. Mankind has grown from the ancient primitive time to the modernity, and while the mankind was growing up with its maturity, it has built several concepts one after another, and for every concept some sounds came up, and those are depicted with the words. Suppose for the first time mankind understood that they have to identify some objects or some concepts or some notions or some activities which need to convey to the others, and the conventions are to prepare, which are the collective conventions, such that the single sound can represent the same meaning to everyone in the society. First of all, mankind had to prepare a society where more than one human being can live together, and after that they decided to communicate, and to do the communication a collective convention was necessary. A collective convention for some sounds were necessary. These sounds ultimately turn into the semiology or towards the alphabets or the words. These sounds conglomerated into the words, and these words were depicting some unique concepts. From the synchronicity analysis, it is said that some concept 0, concept 1 or concept 2 can come together, and it cannot happen that two or three concepts or two or three peoples are necessary at the to present in the same time to build up a communication. So when two or more peoples are gathering together to communicate and in the same time, then it is the synchronicity analysis. Whatever the things that human being need to prepare in a same time, then it is the synchronicity kind of thing. And when something happens in the sequence of the time that two things cannot occur together in the same time, then that is the diachronicity analysis. Suppose a concept 0 is uh, understood first, the conventions are prepared, the collective consciousness is prepared on concept 0, and collective convention and collective awareness appeared on the mankind for the word 0, the concept 0. When everyone understands the concept 0 and word 0, after that the next level maturity comes, and then on the basis of concept 0, the concept 1 is developed, its collective convention is developed as the word 1, and the collective consciousness is developed as the word 1, and now the total mankind has or a society or a group has a collective consciousness about the word 0 and word 1. And in the next stage of the time, not in the same time, in the next stage of time, another concept comes on the basis of these two concepts or some subset of these concepts, and another concept, concept 2, is now became important concept due to the new kind of endeavors, new kind of fears, new kind of curiosity, new kind of interestingness, new kind of needs. Mankind has developed the new concept, and that new concept depicted with the new word or new sound, that is the word 2. In this way the newer needs came, newer fears came, newer curiosity came, newer interestingness came, and so newer concepts came and newer words also came. In this way, from the ancient time to modernity, the whole vocabulary is prepared. From this, Bertrand Russell's predicativity, that is the non-ambiguous definition system, that is the non-ambiguous definition system came, which means whenever there are two different words in the vocabulary, obviously there are two unique concepts associated with these two words. Sometimes we mistakenly use multiple words for a single concept, but that is a very bad thing. Obviously the words which are not redundant in the society, obviously there is some one-to-one mapping between every concept to every word. Suppose along the timeline, this is the diachronicity condition. Along the timeline, when we see that there is a, this is the diachronicity analysis along the timeline, sequential evolution or emergences of new concepts, and the concept 0 is the more primitive concept, concept n is the more modern concept, and concept 0 is less than concept 1 is less than concept 2, which means the concept 1 is dependent on concept 0, and concept 2 is dependent on the subset of the concept 0 and concept 1, and in this way the recursively the newer concepts are coming. And similarly, for every concept there is a word one-to-one mapping, and sometimes the many-to-one mapping is possible when the things are recursively developed, because several of the words are generated with the recursive dependency. But at least one word is there for one unique concept. This is the fundamental concept of our predicativity. The predicativity is a numerical measure assigned to every word in the vocabulary, and which represents the order of the concept in the diachronicity order. That is the diachronicity order, that is the along the timeline and of the concepts from the antiquity to the modernity. We cannot have the concept of higher order things before the zero order things are conceptualized. Uh, Here we should consider it in this way, and in our mathematical framework we are talking about that the means that if any word has a less numerical value of predicativity, that means the concept attached to that word is more primitive, and if the predicativity value, that is the numerically value, is more than the concept attached to that word is more modern recent concept. Predicativity is a numerical measure assigned to every word in the vocabulary. If the total number of words in the vocabulary is n, then the predicativity value is always less than equal to n for any kind of words, because for the most basic notion is that one-to-one mapping for one concept to one word is always there. Sometimes there are the many-to-one relationship that occurs for the recursive dependency, that is the concept 0, concept 1 is conglomerated or linearly dependent, and linear combinations of the previous concepts to generate any word in the next time. Some other concept is generated in the future, and those are linearly dependent concepts, and those are discussed under the dependent relatedness predicativity, and these are another numerical measure to identify the number of concepts are involved to find any new modern abstract concept or concrete concept, or some concept which are not actionable, the concepts which are fearful but not actionable, fearful but not going to generate some curiosity or interest. It can happen that there are some abstract concepts which we can easily generate from the linear combination or the non-linear combination of the previous concepts, and on the that is the diachronicity generation of the newer ideas, and automated creativity is also possible due to these diachronicity conditions of the dependency of multiple concepts, which are sometimes vague, which are sometimes non-real, which are sometimes real but not implementable, and these kind of things can happen, and several of the things are there which are possible, and some individuals can use it, but the collective convention and collective consciousness are not generated, so collective awareness is not generated, so many of the business are not possible with those new kind of concepts. Business are possible when a collective consciousness and collective conventions are there, and also a collective need or collective awareness and collective fear, collective curiosity, collective attentiveness, collective interest, or collective actions are involved, then the business grows with those kind of new concepts. Suppose the internet, suppose the Google, suppose the Facebook, and this kind of social network systems, the usages of YouTube and other kind of new features of the LLM are all getting more popularity, and more usages, more businesses are occurring because of these collective needs, the collective awareness, and due to the collective curiosity, collective interest, collective actions, and collective attentiveness, you always try to check how many people are following you. Those are the collective attentiveness, collective interest, and these kind of things are happening in our daily life, and we can see, and the contexts are built up on these, and contexts are the large number of variables on which our interactions are dependent, and interaction is a thing where a collectiveness involves. One single person cannot interact with a single person, and that we should not call it as an interaction, we will call it as a reflection. When a single person is talking with himself, it is a reflection. That is the self-awareness or self-attentiveness or self-curiosity, that is the reflection kind of thing, that is the self-bound. But until there is a more than one person are involved and action and reactions are occurring, then only the interaction can occur, and the ability to interact is the measure of existence. So whatever the thing exists means that thing has some ability to interact, means either it can act on other things or it can react on other things, and both. And if these three conditions are fulfilled, that is action, reaction, uh, and both means interaction, then only we can consider the reality of the existence of any object or anything or any concept. When multiple concept can interact, that means the one concept can act on other concept, and another or can react on the another concept, or can do the interaction with the another concept, and all these interactions are standing on the context. Context is a large number of variables on which all the concepts are standing on. This when we are moving towards the more modernity, we have a large number of vocabulary, that means we have a large number of concepts. Now the thing is that if you get a legal document in your hand, and you will not understand all the words, and you will not understand all the sentences every time. Sometimes we need some additional sentences to insert before some sentences to make it comprehensive to everyone. The missing statements which are necessary to insert, and those are to auto generate from our automated decision engines and automated choice maker engines, automated inference engines, and in this way we can find that what concepts are missing in between. These are calculated through the predicativity analysis. And whenever automated negotiation systems are designed, suppose a large group of people are negotiating with one another, or one group G1 of the people are negotiating with another group of people G2, then there are several kind of things which are assumed, that those are all in the collective awareness or collective attentiveness or collective curiosity, collective interest. But ultimately we see that all of the peoples are not knowing all the things. All of the people in the group are not always aware about the fact. So whenever these kind of things are happening, so we have to insert the missing statements there. To insert these missing statements automatically, we have to do the predicativity analysis, and also we have to do this Nafcaia analysis on every statements used in any negotiation. The automated negotiation system helps us to insert the missing statements in between the multiple statements used in the negotiation process, such that the missing scenarios or the missing awareness things are fulfilled. And whenever the group of people are negotiating, and sometimes they feel that all the things are moving towards the threat or moving towards the collective fear, then they stop doing the negotiations. But the automated negotiation systems should generate all the possible concept clashes and all the possible Nafcaia clashes, and due to which the scenario can move towards another layers of the frames in the drama theory. And these automated negotiation systems will always use the 5040 possibilities of the Nafcaia beans, Nafcaia conditions, and also the predicativity conditions, and it will automatically insert the predicativity values within the statement. Suppose there is a statement in the negotiation process. Suppose there is a statement S1, statement S1 is there, which is discussed, and another statement S6 is discussed. Suppose another statement S6 is discussed, but the intermediate sentences were never discussed. The never discussed statements in between in the process, uh, which are necessary to reach to the sixth level of the statement. These intermediate statements will automatically filled up through the automated negotiation engines, such that everyone can understand the scenarios, everyone can understand the context on which the whole thing is going on. It can happen that everyone are not aware about all the facts in the statements discussed. Someone can directly conclude statement 6 from statement 1, but other peoples in the negotiation team cannot understand why this statement 6 is coming from statement 1. So the intermediate values of the statements, the intermediate statements will automatically generated through the machine or through the system, and that is possible through the predicativity analysis and the Nafcaia models here. And we want to discuss about the Nafcaia models and the possible options of the 5040 conditions. I am showing you the options here. Say the Nafcaia models are discussed in this way. Suppose these are already discussed here, and the greater than symbol means the governing conditions, the which governs which other. The first thing first, the first thing governs the second thing, the first two things govern the third thing, the first three things govern the next thing. In this way the things proceed, and we have followed these books to understand these seven most fundamental needs on which we have generated this Nafcaia model. And here we have shown you a Python code to generate the permutation possibilities of the Nafcaia, and 5040 Nafcaia possibilities are shown here. I want to show you the possibilities values here. Let's see, the 5040 Nafcaia values are shown here in the deciders, and the predicativity model is already discussed. These are the conditions. In the video you can see this data of the orderliness exhaustively discussed in the Nafcaia models, such that you can get a understanding that what are the 5040 exhaustive list of the possibilities of the Nafcaia model that we are discussing here. Let's see, these are all the permutations of the possibilities of the Nafcaia, and which are attached with every statements on the negotiation systems, to understand the contexts at every stages, to understand the interactions at every stages and the missing interactions in the stages of the negotiations. The Nafcaia model and the predicativity analysis will give us the clarity on the whole negotiation process, and the human's way of doing things is too much ambiguous, and we should make the whole ambiguous things into the non-ambiguous things. We need the clarity for everyone. First of all, you have to understand that human society, human negotiation, human interaction, everything stands upon the conditions of collective awareness, collective conventions, and collective consciousness. Until everyone, the whole negotiation team or the interaction team, are aware about all the facts, the negotiation is not a right negotiation.